I've spent my whole life living from my mind. I think, I analyze, I figure things out, and it has served me, but I'm hitting a point now where I feel a calling to get out of my head and into my body's intelligence. So far, I've had two conversations on this subject. So, one was with Emilia Ferreira, a neuroscientist, and one with Danielle Wilkinson, who's a nurse who works both clinical and somatic worlds. Today is just me sharing my takeaways, combining those two talks because things clicked when I put them side by side. The first thing is, the neuroscientist Emilia stated that thinking is low arousal. I may have worked on my patterns and shadows and I can trace them all the way back, but that creates too little chemistry to rewire anything. So this is why my back is still constantly bracing and my forehead is tense, even in calm settings. It's like I'm still holding on to something in the body and I haven't acknowledged or worked on that. To make true change and to find deep release and like nervous system level rewiring, we have to go where the chemistry is, like inducing oxytocin and dopamine, our biology. That chemistry lives in the body, in real moments, and in real experiences. Then the nurse Danielle gave me the other half. She talked about loops. A loop is the pattern your nervous system runs when it gets triggered. Something happens, a hard conversation, or a moment your body wants out because it's too difficult, and your body reads danger, and it fires off the same old reaction it's been running for years. If we don't interrupt it and we just push it down, it completes. And it has to live somewhere, and it gets stored in our chest, our abdomen, our shoulders, our face. The body is so good to us, it stores it for us when we complete the trigger on autopilot. When that trigger starts, Danielle said we have about 5 to 10 seconds before our nervous system completes the loop. That's the window. That's where we can lean in, as the neuroscientist said, and access ourselves chemically, internally. We can do all sorts of things in that triggering moment to release chemicals in the body. And Danielle, the nurse, gave us so many good examples of how to do that. She likes to name what's happening in the moment, in that triggering moment. So the challenging thing begins to lose its power a bit just by naming it. And then we can name it lightheartedly. We can say, there you are again, old friend, and then do something that accesses the physical body, the chemical piece. The start of the trigger is our moment. The work is to lean into that edge and stay there. That's where the growth happens. And then doing something physical that shifts into the chemistry. Okay, what does that actually look like? Say I'm in a difficult conversation and I feel my world closing in, or I feel like I'm going blank. My nervous system is saying, get out of here. And if I'm the old me, I do. I don't acknowledge the hard conversation or whatever is happening in the moment. The old me analyzes the whole thing later from a safe distance and the pattern resumes. What I'm practicing now is, first, self-awareness is a must. It's key. You got to notice what's going on. You're going into a pattern, and then naming the moment. So I can say, this is a loop. My body thinks I'm in danger. I'm okay. Just using the mind, partnering with the mind in this way. Naming it buys me that 5 to 10 second window. So that's me interrupting instead of autopiloting and completing the loop every other way I've completed it in the past, which I know doesn't serve me. Second, I stay. Staying at the edge is where the rewiring starts to happen. The neuroscientist told me every extra minute at the edge is like extra gas in the system. There are literally rewards, dopamine, for finding new meaning in a place your body wanted to flee. You stay here and you ask, what else is here? Buying yourself time, getting curious. Third, bring in the body while I'm in there. So slow, long exhales, which we can do mid-conversation and nobody knows. Softening our shoulders and unclenching our hands and our jaw, which tells the nervous system the threat is past. Warm eye contact with the person in front of us because connection is where oxytocin comes from. And if possible, movement. So maybe after, shaking it out, a walk, humming. Danielle, the nurse, uses all of these. She names so many simple tools that finish the stress cycle instead of storing it. And one more thing from the neuroscientist that I keep thinking about, the chemistry you create in a moment like that stays open for about 6 hours. There's a window after the edge where the rewiring keeps working. So all of this work counts even after the moment passes. That's what I'm gathering so far. Change needs chemistry. Chemistry comes from the body in the moment at the edge. Name the loop, stay past the point you want to leave, give the body something physical, and let it work. I'm going to be practicing this in real situations, and I'll report back honestly, including when I fumble it, because I know I will. If you're in this too, somewhere between knowing and embodying, getting out of the mind and more into the body, we're figuring this out together. My next conversation is already forming, and I want your input. Who should I talk with next? Tell me in the comments, and I'll see you in the next talk.